So today, the Augustinian family rejoices celebrating the feast of our mother, Counsel, every year on April 26th. This is one of our most ancient feasts. It goes back to the 1430s in a little town called Genza outside of Rome, about 30 miles away. For us to be like going from here to Santa Clarita. And it's a very beautiful devotion and image of Our Lady that has captured hearts and minds of the Catholic Church, and especially the Augustinians for now many centuries. There is a legend associated with it, and this legend is actually well depicted in the icon that we have behind our altar today. You may or may not know, this is the second church of our Mother Counsel on this site. The church that we're presently in was built in 1961, but there was an earlier church before that one, the same smaller church. That's why the Terry Catholic rebuilt it. But this painting here was actually the focal point of that church. It's a very old painting, the picture of Mother Counsel, about 1400s, but still clear. And you can see on the bottom of it, the descent que Barthal is the period, that's what it appears there. On top of it, there's an angel carrying this icon that's framed. And that's the legend, that there was this icon that was in Albania. The Albanians did a great devotion on Mother Counsel, especially Mother Teresa had a great devotion on Mother Counsel. Angels threw this icon to President Genzano and in the church where it presently resides. I've had the privilege of going one time so far in my life to see the icon of Mother Counsel. It's not very big. In fact, it's smaller than what you see up there. It's maybe about the size of what's on my vest here, quite small. And there are a few things that are unique about it. One is that, and we wouldn't notice this today when we first go to the church, but when you walk into the church that it's present in the side channel that it's in, it's at your eye level. Now for me, I have to shrink it, but let's say it's about 5 feet tall off the ground. And if you know about the 1400s at the plague, they often have to whitewash walls at that time. One of the things that would happen is that they elevated religious things to be up high in churches so that they would kind of look down upon you and distance from you. So we human beings were kind of like in the dirt of the world, and the holy things were up there. On the Counsel, be only 5 feet off the ground. She's close to the people. She's one with the people. So this is something that captured the hearts of the people of Genzano right away. And there's a few things that she's going to reveal about specifically Augustinian spirituality in when you look at her image, so the archetype of what makes up our Mother or Good Counsel. We have a few different ones in our church. So we have the one, of course, that's behind our altar. We have the one on your right, that's at our side shrine over there. We also in stained glass to our best, have our Mother Counsel up in stained glass, and you got the one on my vestment right here, right? As there's at least 4 around the church that I know of. One of the important things that you will notice is one, the most important aspect of the archetype of what makes night on a Mother Counsel versus some other Mary, some other baby Jesus. Mary and Jesus are cheek to cheek. They're very tender. They're very close. They're smushing each other's faces. It's a very tender and loving creation of God, of Mother and Son together. Very playful. And look at what the baby Jesus is doing. Both here behind the high altar and also on our right, you might see that little petter. What's the baby doing? Just like the baby doing? He's being fussy. He's pulling out on his shirt. It's a very tender adult image of God. It's a very playful image of God. Not a distant God that's up there that we can't touch. No, a God that's on our level, one with us, cheek to cheek, pulling at humanity. Right? And so these are things that immediately are able to help to draw us into the mystery of this life. And then the other aspect that reveals itself, another part of the archetype, and you see it well, especially in that icon too, like a little bit so as this one as well. Sometimes their faces are kind of so well smushed together that their eyes are almost touching. They're looking into one another's eyes, mother and son. And of course, we see this in our lives, our families, a mother playing with her baby, when mommy's looking to baby's eyes, and they only transfix by mother's eyes, but we're just playing back and forth, folks. But there's something special about their gaze. As they gaze into one another's eyes, so they invite you to gaze into their eyes. It's not an exclusive gaze. Most of the times when we see it, they're playing baby, the baby is from the absorb, think a squirrel is mommy and daddy, which is perfectly fine for babies. But for us, we are invited to be drawn into their gaze. So we have a very approachable God, a very warm God, one that's close to us and one with us, one that is even kind of playful and tugging at us. We have all these aspects that make up this beautiful icon of our mother of good Counsel. And I think it's especially appropriate in many ways today. You may know that Pope Leo, being Augustinian, comes from the Chicago province of the Augustinians. They're named the Province of Mother Counsel. He has a great devotion to her, and he has been promoting her within his pontificate. So if you saw him, he flew to Turkey. He brought an image of our Mother Counsel on the papal plane with her. Some papal liturgies, he's had an icon of our Mother Counsel displayed in the center of St. Luke's Square. And I want you, when you see this, call to your friends and say, look, there's the Pope. He's got my parish up there. That's our Mother of Good Counsel. And he's trying to, I believe, he believes that she has something special to offer the church now. In a world that has so much darkness and challenge and brokenness, that we have this tender, loving, warm image of God. In a world where so much of our gaze right now is interrupted by speeds and technology and AI, and whether our human interactions are really real or not, they're filtered by some technological means. We're now giving this a serious and beautiful icon to have our eyes on its gaze of the Blessed Mother and of the Divine itself. And so all of these things make up this beautiful Marian devotion that we, the Augustinians, have been promoting since the 1430s. And now with our Holy Father, Pope Leo, Leo is promoting her to the global church as well. And I believe that that means that we have a particular mandate here, Parish of the Mother Counsel, Los Angeles, California, to promote this devotion to the Blessed Son. And which is why we made the prayer cards to pray that prayer on Mother Counsel. And it's just one of those things that we can do, that we could promote, that we could share this beautiful image of Mother and Son together. And what that reveals, not only about God, but what that reveals for us as well. Because remember, also think we are the ones called to gaze into their eyes. Each and every one of us, we have a place in their gaze. To be in God's gaze, Blessed Mother's eyes. And maybe that's a good prayer experience that you might want to take on this week. Just allow yourself to be their gaze. Allow that to find you. That might be rather powerful. And so, on this April 26th, which the feast goes all the way back in 1400, is this particular day, we celebrate the Augustinian family this very beautiful devotion of our Mother and Counsel. And we're proud to promote it in a very special way. I think it's good that we can people about the Counsel, since it falls on a Sunday this year, get to promote it as wider parish family. Get to celebrate it. Just like we had our festival last week, and now we celebrate her this week. So let's give praise and thanks to God for revealing to us His Mother as a Mother of good counsel. Amen.